Hi, welcome back. I am Renee Kinney, the Healthy Living Director at the Southwood County YMCA. Today we are out at the YMCA Camp Alexander, and we have campers joining us, Sophia, Jake, and Abe. And we're going to go through a fun balance practice today that you can start at any level, and then we'll just keep building on from there. But to get started with the class, once you get into a comfortable seat or lying down, shut down your eyes, scrunch your shoulders up to your ears, taking a big breath, and then roll your shoulders back and let the breath out. Do that again. Scrunch up, bring your shoulders to your ears, and release. One more time. Give yourself a moment to take in all of the noises happening around you. And now focus at where you're seated or lying and that connection to the ground and the earth. Each time you breathe in, picture sinking in a little firmer. And each time you breathe out, just breathe out through the air, through your mouth, through your nose, wherever it is, and settle through the rest of your body. Take a few more breaths, trying to center your focus, ground in and connect to your body. And still be aware of what's happening around you. We're also going to set an intention for our practice as we move today. And that can just simply mean that you're focused on being here, or you're going to focus on your breath, or you just intend to do your best and show up. Together through your nose, take in another big breath. Open up your mouth and let it out. You can softly open up your eyes. We're going to start just with a gentle fold forward. Start to walk your hands out as far as you can. Then once you're at that furthest point, take in a big breath. And see if you can't sink in and relax a little bit further as you breathe out. We'll take about 3 or 4 breaths like this, trying to relax and sink in on the exhale. Walk your hands in to bring yourself back up. We're going to go into a twist from here. So your right hand, take it down to the ground behind you. Take your left hand to your right leg. And then lift up from your chest, but look back. Stay here for a couple of big breaths. And when you exhale, think about using your core muscles to twist a little deeper. Turn back forward, and then we're going to twist the opposite direction. Push down into the ground and your leg. Keep your chest up nice and tall. Take another breath or two. And slowly untwist. Let's come on to our hands and knees for tabletop position. All right, so you're gonna space your weight out between your hands and your knees, and then cow pose, where you drop your belly down, lift your chin up to the sky. This is cow. And then cat is where you're rounding your spine and looking underneath for your belly. Now move back and forth. Go in your cow pose, stretch out your belly. Cat pose to stretch out your neck. All right, now come still in tabletop, nice and firm, like someone could place a glass of water between your shoulder blades or at the back of your hips. You want to try and keep that water there, and we're going to go into our first bit of balance. So your right arm, reach out in front of you like you're going to shake hands with someone. Remember that water on your back, and then try to balance and lift your opposite leg back behind you. So right now this is called a bird dog. Balancing just to push away from the ground, but keep your other arm and leg out nice and long. Together, reach out further, taking a big breath. And now crunch your knee and elbow together as you exhale. Let's do that one more time. Reach out as long as you can and crunch. Set down your knee and hand. Opposite arm and leg, reach them up. Try to stay flat in your back and your hips. We're going to hold for about 5 or 10 seconds this first time. And then reach out longer, taking your breath. Crunch as you breathe the breath out. One more time. Crunch. And release. We're going to come into downward dog. Push into your hands and your feet. Lift your hips up to the sky. Shake out your head a little bit. You can even sway your hips side to side and play with your balance here. And then start to tiptoe forward into a standing fold. So you're going to bring all your weight into your feet. Let your arms dangle. You could also try a ragdoll pose where you grab opposite elbows. And same thing, you can sway or bounce up and down a little bit. All right, so let's stand all the way up. Reach for the sky, taking a big breath. We're going to take a back bend to exhale. So you're just squeezing your elbows back, shoulder blades back. Lift your heart up nice and high. Let's do that again. Mountain, reach up. Back bend, squeeze back. Couple more times. Last time, keep in that back bend. Try to get your fingers spread apart. Lift your heart up higher. And release. All right, let's turn facing this way. We're going to come up onto our toes, and you're just going to lift up to your toes and then sink back down. And this is just another little bit of balance. Really easy on 2 feet, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Again, come up onto your toes, stay there. Now reach up into your mountain and try a back bend from your toes. Again, mountain. Back bend. Once more. And release your heels, set it down. That one was hard for me. All right, let's come. We're going to squat down to a yogi squat and then stand back up. So this is the action we're going to do up and down. Now see if you can try it from your toes. Squatting down as far as you can go and then all the way up, staying on your toes. If I reach my hands out, it helps me balance myself instead of sinking back to my hips. But you could also keep your hands on your knees or have a chair out in front of you. One more time. And then come all the way back up, set your heels down. We'll go into a tree pose next. So you want to plant your right foot into the ground with roots. Bring your opposite knee out in front and then step into your leg. You can start very beginner with your foot down on the ground, and then depending on how your balance feels, slowly lifting it up higher. If you have your foot on your knee, make sure that you're keeping your knee nice and straight over your ankle and it's not kicking out to the side where you could cause damage. Now from here with your arms, try to take them up and back down. Try that again. One more time. Alright, then switch plant in. Bring your opposite knee up, turn out. It doesn't have to be with your foot in the same exact spot on the second side. Now, some other challenge on this side, let's try lifting onto our standing toes and back down. Not getting it, Jake? That's okay. You can come out, reset, start over. Let's go into a temple. So your feet are wide, heels in, and then bend into your knees. From here, we're going to go into a 5-star. So we're going to launch over to one foot and try and lift all your both arms and your other leg. And then we're going to sink back into the temple and 5-star the other way. Let's go back and forth. Sit in the middle, push to the other side, center, side. Back and forth once or twice more. Let's add on. So we're going to go into 5-star, and then we're going to go down to a half moon. So you want to touch the ground with your hand, keep your other heel up, and then reach up with your opposite arm. Use your core to bring yourself back up to the center, other side. Move slow and with control. Come back to the center and then fold down. Take a couple of big breaths here. You can also sway your head and your upper body. We're going to squat down into a low squat here with one leg long. And this is also messing with your balance. See if you can touch your leg down to the ground and then bring yourself back up. We didn't practice these ones today. And then trying to keep yourself down really low, move over to the other side. And same on that one. Tap your butt down and then lift back up. Come back to the center. Let's come up to a standing fold again. Take your hands together behind your back. Lift your knuckles up to the sky and press your heart down towards your heels. Take your hands behind your back, Jake. Right. Reach behind your low back.
Oh.
There you go. All right, keep your hands up, but point your right shoulder towards your left foot. And then shift opposite shoulder towards your opposite foot. Come back to the center. Imagine someone's pulling you up from your hands and then pushing your hands all the way back down to the ground to lift your chest up high. And release. Shake it out. We're going to come back to standing balance again. So we're going to start with your right foot in the ground. This next one is called figure 4, and then eventually we'll try getting into flying pigeon. So you're going to start kind of like tree, but you're going to cross your ankle over your thigh instead of connecting your foot to your leg. And then from here you can stay right here. You can sit back, or you can try to reach down to the ground. You want to try it, Abe?
Sure.
So, flying pigeon, Abe's going to try this one. He's going to plant his hands down on the ground. He's looking out up here. And then he's going to put his weight forward into his hands and just come to the tips of those back toes. And yes, take off. There you go. Nice. We practiced that one a lot before we got on camera today, so now we have to try the other side. Start with your left foot planted, cross an ankle over, and sit back or reach forward. It doesn't have to be the exact same side or same way on this second side. Another option would be adding in a twist here. So either taking your arm to your foot and looking over, or trying to get your elbow to your foot. Last opportunity to start over. Try again.
Oh.
Yeah. Remember to look out in front of you. Nice job. Both sides? Okay. All right, let's take a break from balancing. Let's come on down to tabletop. Cow and cat once or twice. And into child's pose. Sink your hips back to your heels, let your head come down, and take a couple of big breaths. You can all stay there. As you settle into that child's pose, you can move your hips around a little bit or adjust your knees to different distances. Settle in, breathe deep down to your belly, and try and fill up that space between your thighs. Bring yourself on up to a seat. Sit with your legs crossed. Shut down your eyes. Just like we started, scrunch your elbows up to your shoulders to your ears, and then roll them back and down. 2 more times. Bring your hands up to your heart. Bow your head to yourself. Take a moment to set up your mood for the rest of the day. And namaste.